And this is a video review of the Transformers War for Cybertron Trilogy Netflix series Autobot Bumblebee. So finally gotten my hands on Bumblebee. This is a figure that I've really been wanting to get my hands on for the longest time. If, as you may or may not know, the Earthrise Cliff Jumper was one of my favorite figures that came out from the Earthrise line. And this guy being a remold of Cliff Jumper, I had really high expectations. I can tell you this guy didn't disappoint. It has a lot of the things that I loved about Cliff Jumper redone in Bumblebee colors and the Bumblebee molding. So yeah, first off, before we look at Bumblebee, let's take a look at the packaging. So this is the standard Netflix packaging. So you can see Bumblebee on this side. It does say Netflix there. On this side, it's not the Siege artwork. It's actually the Earthrise artwork. So if you look here, as opposed to Wave 1, which was the Siege artwork, is actually the Earthrise artwork in Wave 2. Which is quite cool. At the back, images of Bumblebee in robot and vehicle mode. And I was quite surprised. He's actually a licensed VW product. And you'll see that when we go to vehicle mode, he does have all the branding and all that. So not much at the top, nothing at the bottom. He also comes with this piece of Teletran 1, which I have no intention of building. And he also comes with these instructions. So as opposed to Cliff Jumper, he's supposed to hold these two parts of the bazooka as guns, but I like the bazooka anyway. And yep, same Earthrise Siege, Earthrise and Siege type of instructions, which is really good, really clear. And as you can see, he does have two more integration modes with the bazooka. So one of them is like the, I don't know, automorph kind of bazooka appearing at the top of the VW. And he can also, I was actually quite surprised to know that he can also pull off the jet ski mode that Cliff Jumper had. So we'll show that later on in the figure. Okay, so taking a closer look at Bumblebee here, let me just remove the bazooka. Let's focus on the weapon for a little bit. So these don't come with him. This comes with can't remember if it's Omega Supreme or Skylynx, one of those two. So it comes with the same weapon that Cliff Jumper came with. So let me just pull off what Cliff Jumper had and we can do a comparison. So this one is the one with Bumblebee. This one is the one that came with Cliff Jumper. So it's same mold but differently painted. So this one is a more gunmetal, this one is a more a little bit more silver. Not really noticeable, but in the in the light you'll be able to see it. This part is unpainted on Bumblebee while it's painted slightly on Cliff Jumper. I can't say which one I like better. I think both of them works well. So yeah, now taking a closer look at Bumblebee here, as I've said, he's a really well implemented figure. And the first thing I remember when I picked this up is it reminded me a lot like the first Masterpiece Bumblebee that we had. So let me just get that guy. So I mean, I know they're supposed to be the same character, but the likeness is uncanny in terms of transformation and all that. It's just really similar. I actually thought they would be the same size because this is a small MP, but no, this one is slightly bigger. So yeah, just to show that off. A lot of this as well seems painted. So as you know, the thing with Netflix is there's a lot of paint deco. So like This one is gray plastic with the red deco here. Wheel jack is the same gray plastic with deco. Here there's a lot of paint as well. So for example, this entire thing is clear plastic. So a lot of it is painted yellow. So as you can see, this part is yellow. It's painted to match the plastic itself. This thing is painted as well. I can't say for sure if this is painted. This looks like it's painted yellow on top of the yellow plastic. It does feel like it. So yeah, it does pull off a bit of a premium feel, and you can see the difference. So this one is definitely not painted. So there is a difference between the two, which tends me to believe this is painted, this is painted, the back is painted, this side part is not, and the head, the yellow part of the head is not as well. But a lot of it is painted, giving it, like I said, an MP Bumblebee kind of feel. Now taking a closer look at the head sculpt, I mean, that's definitely Bumblebee. There's no mistaking that there. I wish they went for a little bit more of a smile rather than this more stoic facial expression, but it's nice. Eyes are painted blue. The arms are actually remolded from Cliff Jumper, but the fact that this is black as opposed to this one is red, this is actually better. I mean, this is supposed to be accurate, but the fact that it's black, you won't have all those paint chipping. That was actually my main gripe with this figure, that paint chipping on this part, just because the transformation pegs there, this thing hits the inner part and causes the chipping. So we won't have that same chipping there. The legs are also the same. So basically the arms and the legs are same as Cliff Jumper. The feet, of course, would be different. So this is the front of the VW. Again, back almost different. So the differences are basically the head, the chest parts, the feet, and this backpack. So let me remove the backpack. So again, backpacks are removable, similar to Cliff Jumper. As you can see there, the main skeleton of the robot is actually the same as well. So they just reshelled the chest part, the head, they changed the head, and then reshelled the feet. But the skeleton of it is the same. Transformation is almost the same as well. Now this one you can use as a shield. I'm not gonna do that just because it's daft, and it does look good that way, and that's how the MP pulled it off as well, as you can see. So I don't mind having that at the back. So yeah, really nice. Now in terms of articulation, it's basically the same as Cliff Jumper here. So you have a head twist, can pivot a little bit, not that much. Swivel there, more than 90 out. Very tight upper arm joint there. 90 degrees on the elbow, swivel wrist. There is a waist swivel as well as backward crunch on the ab. Legs can go all the way out, all the way forward, sorry, all the way back, no hindrance at all there. Swivel there, which is hidden by this panel, which is nice. 90 degrees on the knee, and your uber ankle tilt, that's the same as Cliff Jumper there. So yeah, really nicely implemented Bumblebee. Now for some quick size comparisons, here he is with a few of the Earthrise and Netflix or Siege and Netflix figures. So that is Netflix Wheeljack, which is basically the same as Earthrise Wheeljack. We have Sideswipe and Ironhide as well as Optimus Prime. So I think they pulled off the scaling pretty well. I can't complain too much in the scaling. It's really well done. Of course, Cliff Jumper is exactly the same size. as he is. There you go. Now, one other size comparison I wanted to show you. Here he is with the masterpiece MP21 Bumblebee. So he's only a little bit taller than MP Bumblebee. But I can tell you, out of the two, I like this guy's implementation more. Okay, now I was on the fence whether I wanted to show you transformation, because that's basically the same as Cliff Jumper, but it's an easy transformation anyway. So let's just go through it quickly. So first thing, remove the backpack. Open this up. You can turn around the head or not. I prefer to turn it around. Just because, I don't know, I'm paranoid this hits the face and scratches the face. I don't think it does, but you know, better do that. And then I actually open this up and close this up now, just because later it gets a little bit tighter. So this thing is a bit worrisome. So as you can see there, this is actually a couple of clear plastic pegs. So it's a bit worrisome. So I try to do it now as opposed to later on. So this is probably the scariest part of the transformation for me. Okay, there you go. You can do it later, but I prefer to do it now, as I've said. Now I twist the waist and then pull it forward. Now the feet, open this up, rotate this, very similar to Cliff Jumper. Do the same on the other foot. Now you rotate this forward as you rotate the arms back. Now let's position the arms first. So what you do is you twist the arm down like that and then fold it at the elbow. Do the same on the other side. Now as you can see, there are some slots there for those rectangular pegs there. Let me just remove my glasses, it's not helping. So you just rotate this and peg this in. This is the same rectangular peg that causes the paint chipping on Cliff Jumper. Okay, and then for the rest of it, so as you can see, there are some pegs there and a slot there. So you just peg that in there. Do the same on the other side, and then you just peg this thing together. Okay, now for this one, what you actually do is you just close this up. So fold that peg in, and then you peg these two giant holes there. But before we do that, let me show you the integration with the bazooka. Now to integrate the bazooka, what you actually do is you fold this hand out and up, pretty daft, and then you peg this into the hands as you would in vehicle mode. There you go. And then let me just quickly check again just to make sure I didn't do it wrong. Yep, use that peg. Maybe better if I unpeg it first. Let me just get that peg off. And then I don't recall having a peg. Oh, there you go. So you use that slot there and just peg this there. There you go. And then you peg that in. Now this makes me, okay, so that's how it is. Now hold on a second, let me try just one quick thing. And I was right. You can do the exact same thing with Cliff Jumper here. So they do have the same connectivity. So just, you know, it shows that you can actually do the same, admittedly daft weaponizer thing on both Cliff Jumper and Bumblebee. So that's that. Okay, now to finish off the transformation, let me just remove this. What you actually, let's remove this as well. You can or cannot, depend, doesn't really matter what you do. You can remove it or not, it's the same outcome. So let's put the hands back in the position it was earlier. There you go. Make sure they're pegged in. Rotate the hands in whatever orientation they are, as long as there are holes at the top. Fold this peg in, and then peg this into the hands and close it up. So there you go. There is there is Bumblebee, and it's very cute. Very well done vehicle mode. So before I go with the other integration, let's take a look at Bumblebee. Take the time to admire this really nice Volkswagen. Okay. So first off, as I've said, he is a licensed VW product. So you'll see I don't know, let's see. I don't have my glasses on. Let me just put that on again. There you go. So there is the VW logo on the wheels, as well as at on the top. It's not as clean as I would want to, but it's very tiny. I think it's well done. So definitely a licensed VW. It even has the single side mirror that Bumblebee has. No side mirror on the other side. Really nice implementation. Painted headlights there. I wish there was a little bit of texturing there just to make it stand out, but it's fine. The side, I don't know why it's not focusing. There you go. Side, really well done. Yeah, space for repro label there. Really well done. At the bottom, you know, visible head syndrome, but that's because I flipped it around. If you don't, it's fine. Tinted windshield and all. Really nice. Okay, one other thing I wanted to show you. He can implement, you know, that jet ski thing that Cliff Jumper does. So first thing you do is you split the weapons into the individual parts. They're still the same slots and pegs for you to attach the individual pistols on the bottom of the car. You can still unfold this, and it does retain, you know, that peg and those two tiny pegs there, and still has the hole and the peg, so you can still do that. And there are still those slots there at the bottom of the wheel, or the back of the wheel rather, where you can put on the skis. So with that said, here is Cliff Jumper and Bumblebee in their jet ski modes. It's really nice that they were able to keep this mode for Bumblebee, even if, you know, it's only Cliff Jumper who used it in the show. Really nice. Some size comparisons. Here he is with Cliff Jumper. So it's nice to see, you know, two robots with exactly the same skeleton, very different vehicle modes. And of course, here he is with the rest of the War for Cybertron. No, not the rest of them, but some of them at least. So this is Netflix, Sideswipe, Ironhide from Siege, and Earthrise Prime. And this is one of the few figures that can actually fit in Prime's trailer. Now, what do you guys think of Bumblebee? I'm curious to know. Well, let me know in the comments. but for me, this is definitely the figure of the wave. And this wave came with a lot of really good robots, a lot of repaints and retools, but you know, all of them are really nice. But for me, I think this one is definitely the figure of the wave. There was some news that the Earthrise Bumblebee would be an exclusive. I don't know if that's true or not. If you can grab this Netflix implementation or Netflix release, I'd grab it. There's no indication of, you know, the battle damage that usually comes with Netflix figures, so it will easily fit with your Earthrise line. But you know, if you can grab this release, go get it. This is, you know, as close to perfect a Bumblebee that we can get in the Chug line. So yeah, if you like that review, please do leave a like, leave a comment, do subscribe. This has been Grimtrigger, and this has been the very awesome War for Cybertron Netflix Bumblebee. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.